Okay guys, this is a way to kill millions of germs. We have got polluted, oops, there we go. We have got polluted dirt here, which is saying it's 1,363,000 germs, because it's 50 kilos. And that hatch is just eaten a load, and we've dropped down to, how much, where is it? Dropped down to 425 grams, still the same amount of germs, but now we've got no germs. That polluted dirt has been gone, and our little hatch will sanitize that and poop out our coal for us further on. So that is still a great way of handling your polluted dirt. Hi guys, welcome back to episode 2. We have moved on just a bit, just so that I could get areas dug out and things starting to look like we're moving forward. Now we currently have stress levels of 42% for Maria, and Noble's not far behind her. So what I'm looking to try and do is we need to start expanding our decor. Well, we need to get some to start with across the base. Along with, let me just pop this one there, getting our cots somewhere for the dupes to actually sleep, because that will do two things. We'll have the improved decor, will reduce stress that the guys are experiencing on the day-to-day activities, and having somewhere proper where they can sleep will also help at night, help them to be less stressed, which is kind of really important. So we're going to start by prioritizing the cots, followed by, let's knock that one down over here, followed by all the artwork, on the basis that it's going to take a lot of time. Now I've probably gone overkill on all these blank canvases. However, what I found is when I'm playing this, if I go overkill on art, then what happens is the dupes will their stress levels will not raise that quickly, so it all helps. So Maria is our first dupe to be assigned, because she is one of the people who are stressing the most, followed by Noble, and then we want David, Joshua, Bubbles, Bill, and then we've got well, basically everybody else is behind that, so that's, we can give it to whoever this time. We've been expending our research, so we have now opened up quite a few additional little devices, including nope, refinement, isn't it? No, it's not. It's in utilities. Liquid tepidizer. So we're going to plonk that down in here, because this needs to be in place, ready for when we actually put hard piping for the actual toilets in place. So that is quite important. Okay. So everybody's producing these arts. So let's have a look at the decor level. So we're still pretty poor wherever these guys are sleeping. It's only plus 10. And where the guys are working over here is minus 20 odd. So all this is really important. If we have a look at our germs level, well, because we've been keeping on top of the germs, since the last episode I have not touched any disinfecting, because I didn't think I need to. So I'm just going to do that for those areas, just because it helps keep on top of it. We're going to get some more research going. We've done meal preparation, temperature modulation, pressure management, sanitation. I can't even pronounce that. So we've got those skimmers, fertilization. We've done advanced power, and we're going to go on to combustion. We're just going to basically wipe out all these so that we can actually take down these supercomputers and use that space a bit more effectively. So yeah, this liquid tepidizer, this is gonna, because I mean, if we look in there, we've got over 1 million germs, which are all food poisoning in that water. So once that gets to a certain level, then that tepidizer should make a massive difference. I mean, it uses a lot of power, so that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. So what's happening to this decor? So now we've got a blank canvas. We've dropped from -26 to -13. So it does help slightly just have those canvases. What does it actually give us? Those blank canvas is +10. So, or is that? Let's have a look. No, it's +5 for a blank canvas. You have two next to each other, and obviously it's +10. So let's just speed this up a bit. We've got stress levels up to 51%. Let's have a look at Maria. Why is Maria? Oops, we're supposed to be going over here. Let's go and have a look at Maria's vitals and see what's really causing her to have problems. Right, so okay, so she's ill. That'll wears off in a few moments. So basically, she's got soggy feet, low oxygen. That's 20% of her stress associated, and the other 10% is the decor. So we need to do something about oxygen. If we look at the oxygen overlay, that is looking horrendous. So I think we need to get something more sorted for that. Let's bring in another dupe. So we're looking for someone who's got medicine and immunity primarily. Because I don't know whether the immunity actually... not sure whether they can actually learn immunity or their bodies can learn immunity. Alright, so you're amphibious. That's good. You're uncultured. Okay, do you know what? I kind of need someone... narcoleptic. See, I'm not a great fan of narcoleptics on the basis that they do fall asleep in the most awkward places. And, yeah. No, I think it's going to be cancelling. Because I just don't want to have the risk of a narcoleptic falling asleep somewhere that I really don't want them to. Right, I need to knock off jobs. And art... I've got no one who is a creative bod. 1 is my highest. That means I'm going to have to... Oh, dear me. That's not good. I need an artist then. So those canvases will give us 5. I'm going to take everybody actually off art because I don't want anything other than masterpieces in here. And I didn't realise I had got someone who was capable of doing art. That's a shame. That's a big shame, actually. Alright, so they can just get on with those, and we'll deal with that shortly. Right. What else are we looking to try and do? We are wanting to... I mean, I want to get these storage compactors out of this area for the reason that they obviously reduce the decor of the area. So if we look on there, storage compactors, there's 5 of them, and it's minus 45. So for every picture frame blank, that storage compactor is equaling out. So all this lot is causing a massive negative effect. We've also got this hatch here that is just picking everything up. Now, I'm not really that worried at this moment on that because I've got batteries and supercomputers that I'm going to be moving out in the near future. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to just fly ahead a bit for a moment. I'm going to get this lot cleared out and start working out what we're doing on this side as well, so that we can actually start establishing an area where we can actually put these storage compactors where the dupes aren't necessarily going too often, and therefore they are less likely to get a bit upset because of the passing them all the time. So I'll see you in a moment. Okay guys, we're back and we are joining as our dupes are having a nice sleep. We have introduced a young lady called Ada, but there she is, very, very slow. She's -5 on athletics. However, she is a creative individual. So I think she came in at level 6, and we have got her up to a level 9 already. So she is going around doing all the masterpieces, so that helps improve stress. And as you can notice there, we have got stress at 1%, which is pretty darn good. So it's basically by having these masterpieces in place, granted there's way more than there needs to be, but it means that the dupes are getting less stressed. Now if we have a look at one of the vitals, so who's that one that's stressed? That's Bubbles. Let's go and have a look at Bubbles' stress levels and see what's actually causing her stress. So if we look at the stress levels, change per cycle is 20%. So we're losing 20% per cycle because her decor expectation is so low, but she's getting more stress because she's got a full bladder and there's low oxygen. So the general change is 20%. So there, as you watch it, so change per cycle minus 10% because the decor expectation is lower than what's around her, which means she's only losing. Well, she's not losing. She's just not getting stressed. So that's one thing to take into consideration when you've got a dupe that's really struggling. Work out what's causing that. I did knock this bed down from 50 to 40, but to be perfectly honest, I've hardly used it. Also, we have been we've laid everything else out in preparation to start expanding out. We've had to stop over here because we had some slime lung that was in this area. I was thinking maybe we can actually turn this area into a bit of a farm for our and our mushroom spores when we actually get some, because we've got some around, but you have to go through slime lung to get to them. So at the moment I'm just trying to work my way along, and then I'm going to probably come in down here to grab these two because there's no slime lung in here, and as long as I break through carefully it won't be released a bit like this here. So I want to work out a way of dealing with polluted oxygen which has slime lung in, because as you can see it constantly fluctuates as the air moves around, so we need to work out a way to sanitize that. And I'm thinking that the air sanitizers or air deodorizers should help with that. If we go to the air deodorizer, it nullifies polluted oxygen, but it doesn't say where it does to germs, so it'll be interesting to see whether that does anything. We've got, what have we got? Heat kills germs, and also cold kills germs, so maybe that'll actually, we need to pump that air through a warm area. Our liquid tepidizer has not been plumbed in yet because quite frankly we don't need it there yet. We haven't actually got it over the actual level of the tepidizer itself, so, and we're not ready to actually start using that water, so I'm not too fussed. We are trying to move all these storage containers out from the main base area. Let's just drop those in there, because I want to, did I prioritize? No, I didn't. What did I do then? I want to get this lot to be my main area where the dupes go to collect and deposit the storage or the bits that they want to store. So that this area over here, once I have removed this workstation, which I believe I can do now, but I'm not too fussed because we've only got 2 more research points, and then we've actually got, oh no, good job I didn't. I need to still produce this performance combustion research as well. If we look at jobs on research, we've got Catalina, who is currently the lowest at level 5. No, we've got 2 level 5s, 3 level 5s, 4 level 5s. Okay, she was the lowest, now she's up to level 5, so we can now get other people to assist her, because I'm trying to get everybody that's in early on to really get themselves leveled up on research. Right, okay, let's have a look at who we've got here. So Hassan, learning +5, strength and tinkering is 0, mouth breather, so they'll use up more oxygen. Immunity +10. Now that is very, very tempting. Everything else we can improve during time. It doesn't say they can't actually do anything, but they are a quick learner, which is good. We've got Bert +8 learning again. I'm not really that fussed now on that learning skill. I'm looking at everything else and what else people have to offer, because that learning will be needed later on in the game, where we want to get new dupes up to a certain level on other skills, and it'll just take longer for them to actually do that. So I quite like Hassan's skills there, because it's an all-rounder and there's nothing there that he can't do. I mean, his decor expectation is 0, which means as we've got everything increasing in the base, we should be able to cope with him. And we're going to call this guy, if I could spell it correctly, would be very useful. As he's another YouTuber who has been supporting me from the beginning with Noble and Biffa. So let's pop him in. I'll put a little link up here in this top corner, so you can go and have a look at some of his things. Right, let's just copy those settings and let's deconstruct. We're a bit low on food, so I'm going to have to be careful at how much I actually do here. I want to sweep that out. Right, we're on to the last learning, and then we can remove those research stations for the time being. I say time being because depending on what the next update is in 5 or 6 weeks time, it might mean that we can carry on with this base and then be able to use the technology I hope that they actually release to make some wonderful creations. So basically this first couple of episodes is just to get our base into a position where we can actually support our dupes. We still don't really have a solution for food. We are using this micro musher, which is kind of struggling to manage it. I think we've got it on level 9, haven't we? Yeah. So if we look at the calories yesterday produced, well, we're using 600 calories more than we're producing. So we need to get an additional food source in place quite quickly. And that's why I want to open up this area as well, so this oxygen can be used. And actually, do you know what? I'm going to cancel those two and dig out there, because then we can just get up and pinch this food and that muck root. We can have that. We can sweep that. And we can enable auto harvest on that. So just quickly, let me just pause that for a second. Looking at the mealwoods, we now need an air pressure, an oxygen, polluted or carbon dioxide, and body temperature 10 to 30 degrees. Now, it doesn't actually have any other. Doesn't have a light requirement, which means I will use this area down here to start growing them. And if I get that as a priority, we could change from our micro mush bars to these lice loaves, which I think have, yeah, terrible. These are -3, these are -2, so that will give us 1,000 calories. A meal lice loaf will be given 2,500. Okay. X plus 1,000. No, it'll just plus 1,000. Right. We're going to put in, we've got 44 seeds. We're going to plant that. And we're going to put that down to 9. And once these guys have finished doing all those planter boxes, we will get those installed. Now, let's have a quick look at the overlay on this. So what's that? Nothing there it needs, means everything is there for it, which is perfect. And there we go. I'm going to dig out this tile, I think, because this hatch here has been pinching food that the dupes don't necessarily move before the end of the day. So he'll fall down into this little section down here. Hang on, no. Can he get out of that, I wonder? Let's cancel that. Let me put a ladder in. And then I can dig out a bit more. So he definitely cannot get out. And that way we can let this guy down out as well. Ooh, hang on, who's made a mess? Bubbles, you're caught up there, what a shame. Let me just first of all, let's get mopping involved. Let's get digging sorted. Oh my goodness me. Let's get mopping again. Oh, that muckroot's now going to be contaminated. Oh no, it's not. Alright, okay, cool. Alright, that was very fortunate that the food didn't get contaminated with that little mess that was made. How are we doing on jobs? Research. 5, 6, 5, 5, perfect. 5. Alright, we're still being told we've got a food shortage. We have. Let's just go and sweep this area up. So that I'll get rid of anything that's causing pollution, because I cannot see where it is. It looks to me like we're actually hiding a... Uh-oh, polluted dirt. Alright, let's plonk polluted dirt in here. Organic polluted dirt, priority 9. That'll be from food rotting previously. Yeah, we'll get rid of that for the time being. And we can drop that in there, and this little hatch can have that to eat. We'll also sweep up this so we can actually see what's going on down here. So we've got 100 kilos of coal, which is good. So that's giving off. There's 2 lots of polluted dirt up there, which we need to get rid of. There we go. And as soon as it's in, there's one. Where's the other one? Try again. Polluted dirt, 14 kilos. Let's drop that out, and that hatch can have something to eat. Let's put it down again for polluted dirt. No, don't recall doing that. Okay, that's interesting. Right, what else do we need? So we're oh dear me. How are we doing on research? We've got only a little bit left to go. So 6 you can come off, 5, 6 you can come off, 5, perfect. 4 people idling. I'm sorry, but that is never a good sign. Let's get this 9, deconstruct, 9, and let's just remove all these. Deconstruct, yeah, there we go. And then we'll sweep all that lot up, and that'll keep them busy for a while. So I shouldn't need to do anything with that, because they should go and sweep it up automatically. And phosphorus. Right, okay, phosphorus needs to go into these things as well. So that's not sat left on the floor, causing distress. Right, okay, so we now need to sort out the digging over here. So we'll do that, dig out this section, and And if we prioritise this job above, we'll get that sorted. And let's have a think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, okay, so we can dig out to there and put in another wall floor here. Oops. Let's cancel that one. Perfect. Could probably do with putting that at higher priority, would help. Let's have a look at decor. Okay. So actually that's interesting. In the past, things sat on the floor used to affect the decor. Now it doesn't appear to. That's interesting. So you can have a load of things on the floor and the dupes don't mind. Okay, that's new. Let's take that one out as well. Right, we're going to not worry about that little bit of chlorine there. I think that's 1,000 kilos. That will spread quite rapidly, so let's leave that alone for the time being. And we'll, yeah, let's leave that one alone. Those can go. Perfect. We have now completed all our research that we can do. Double check before I go and deconstruct those. Let's 9 deconstruct, 9 deconstruct. Right, so we can now consider utilising the space for more power. And these need a temperature 10 to 20 degrees, 10 to 30 degrees, so that's fine. If I put any more power down there, that will let's deconstruct you as well. That will cause problems. Now I've already put in an additional wiring loom, so I'm going to remove what's visible because that will, oops, I don't want slime, I want that one. So that wire being visible is showing, and there shows debris as being an issue. But here, no. Now that's weird. So let's remove, let's have a look, go onto the wiring. Right, let's deconstruct the wires from there to there. Alright, so they won't be visible anymore. And let's sweep all our lot up. Let's build that battery because that is a priority, and that should be 9 as well. So, who's made a mess? Why are you making a mess? What? Oh, goodness me. Let's mop that. And there. Is that because I haven't got enough toilets? Food shortage still. You're making a mess. Hang on. Why are you making a mess? Is that's because it's on toilet. Right, okay. So time to sort out toilets. Where's that water? That's over here, so the last thing I want is any pollution to go in there. And we need to sweep all that up as a priority. And sweep again. Let's get that into the correct place. Right, okay, so I need some more toilets. So I think of this. So if I've got this little tap burning here, I've got I need to get some proper plumbed in toilets, to be perfectly honest. So shall I go for, do you know, don't want to, but I think it's, why can I never remember where they are? I think we're going to need to go for a standard toilet for the time being. we've got our little our hatch there that's dealing with the pollution from the germs that and the polluted dirt that come out from these toilets, but I think we just do need to have an additional toilet. We've got 10 dupes, we've only got 3 toilets. I'm not surprised 2 of them are struggling when one of them's out of order. So let's get that sorted and get that in priority. Okie dokie. So we could move that over. Just wondering what's the best route. Right, how much energy are we producing? Reports. Power generated. No. Right, okay, so only just making enough energy. So if I put in a second manual generator and pop that there, we should then be able to start making sufficient power that can be then stored overnight. And also it means that these micro mushers won't be too much of an issue, because we will be able to continue to operate, because we'll have 2 people working on them. So let's just have a look who we've got running on power. So 9, 11, 11, 10, 13, 13. Ada, right, she was a -5, she's now up to a -2. Yeah, okay, I'm happy. Take you off, take you off. You're not 10, and you, right, okay, so Ada and Vapor, you need to get exercising. So your primary role will be running the treadmill. Put my teeth in. Running the wheel until you have got yourself up to a level 10, and then we'll share it with everybody else. That should help Ada quite a lot, because she is such a slow walker. You can just see, in comparison to everybody else, she just trots along slowly. Very funny to watch. Right, okay, so we've got those additional toilets, we've got that storage out of the way, we've dealt with all our research, we've started to get some food growing, because we'll change these to or this micro musher to meal lice loaves, and I think we need to let me just pause that before we carry on. We need to start looking at how we can seal this base off and protect it. In our last series we had a lot to do with power using natural gas generators. We need to get that power back in place, and we need to find those. So I think it's time we start sending out search parties to expand, so we can search for the new resources that we can actually utilize. Something I did notice before was this little area here. So we've got a nice little vending machine that we can't use. We can't do anything with it. Right, okay. Okie dokie, so that's kind of giving us a bit of a prerequisite of what's this whole base was all about, and the story behind why our dupes got landed here, and they are in such a bad way. So again, thank you very much for watching. Hit that subscribe, hit that like, and share if you want. Take care. That's Murphy out.